Alright guys, we're back with another video. This is the second video in 7 days, which is a new record for the Jake Spence channel. But before we dive into the video and you guys see this engine block torn down and those pistons and rods and bearings all torn out of the motor, I want to say two things. First, thank you guys to everyone who watched that last video. The support from you guys where we pulled the engine out of the 135, it was incredible. We got over 250 comments on that video, which really helped get that video out in front of people. So if you guys enjoy this video, again, give me that thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share this video with your friends, etc. And the second thing I want to say is that what you guys are about to see in this video is crazy. You're gonna want to stick to the end. And I gotta have this disclaimer in here. This teardown was performed by professionals. That's right, do not try what you guys are about to see at home, because Derek and I don't know if you guys know this, but we're professional engine builders, and the way we tore this thing down was exactly how you're supposed to tear down engines. Still looks very clean. I agree. Like, no discoloration at all. Looks like new.
It looks relatively normal, from what I can see. Some of the rollers have a little bit of scoring and stuff that you can see down. Like, which one was kind of bad? It kind of was. This one here has got a little bit of scoring in it, but doesn't really look like anything that I wouldn't expect for a 100,000 mile motor.
There you go. Just use your man hands. Oh, dude, look at this.
I told you.
I don't know if you can get.
That's kind of what I was telling you about.
Is that just all metal?
So like I was expecting a lot more like this type of thing.
I think that's on the cast.
Okay, but so you gotta look underneath it, see how it's like, remember I was explaining like almost like an anti-seize type color stuff?
Yeah.
So you got that a little bit.
It's like very, it's silver.
Yeah, it must be metal.
Is it? It just all sat down there like that?
I guess. I'm not sure. Honestly, this is weird. So let's get this off and then the widget tray so we can see the connecting rods and see kind of more of what we're looking at here.
Oh my god, dude.
I was not expecting that.
That's hilarious.
Sorry, dude.
No, you're good.
Wow,
It didn't work.
I wasn't. Yeah, okay. Well, that's that, I guess.
It's a big old splooge down here. Hello.
So that's cleaner than I was expecting.
I mean, it did have a fresh oil change with like no miles on it.
Right. Usually, if you got a spun bearing, usually you'll get a lot of play this way, which seems alright on that one.
That one feels alright. That one feels alright. That one's alright.
So we got side to side, which is pretty normal, but usually.
What is this frame in here? I'm just gonna get rid of this oil pump. Huh. So now what? Put it all back together, put it in the car, and start it up, or what?
I don't know. I was expecting something more to jump out. I mean, so they say a lot of times you'll get like bluing and stuff, but
I mean, there is
that's
definitely
on all of them though, so that would lead me to believe that that's probably supposed to be like that. I guess we can pull rod caps, and people are probably going to give us hate in the comments for how we take this thing apart. but I think we're both pretty much convinced that this thing isn't going back together without professional servicing.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna kind of rip and tear at it.
Let's do it. So what wear are we looking at? Like this dark spot here?
So that would be a spot of wear, and then you see
how
I
see that
see how
score.
that's shiny right there. There's a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Now these aren't anywhere near as bad as I see S65 rod bearings that get all chewed up and all hot spotted, but I mean, there's nothing you want your finger to catch on, and it's definitely catching on that. Because the one thing we think is it could have a bent rod, which wouldn't
So the
have...
back side of this bearing looks pretty awful.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I don't know if you can get down there.
Oh, yeah.
Some copper and shut stuff showing.
Uh-huh.
All right, pull the next one, I guess. Oh boy.
Oh boy. That is way worse than the other one.
Yeah. That's some pretty significant damage.
Makes me wonder what the
backside looks
piston
like.
side looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll find out here. Yeah, that's no bueno.
Like to the point where it'd make noise?
Getting there. Yeah, probably. That's like some pretty deep. Yeah, that one's pretty deep.
So how does this happen though?
I'm thinking it might have got low on oil maybe.
I don't think I ever let it get low on oil.
Yeah, this one's pretty awful.
It's got a big stripe right down the middle there.
It's pretty god awful. I do find like these pistons are oddly clean. You know, this is a direct injection motor, so they run a lot cleaner to begin with. It has been running on 85, so maybe that's pretty normal. But usually, when I see pistons this clean, it's usually coolant consumption. But
I don't think it was doing that. I mean, the oil was kind of milky, but I think it was almost milky because it's metal in there. But I mean, that does look weird.
you'll have to get an oil analysis done and see what that brings back. Because if there is a lot of moisture in there, maybe it was. Maybe that's what caused the rods to go bad. Is if it were getting coolant in the oil, because coolant will ruin bearings.
Yeah.
Like faster than anything.
Because coolant and oil do not mix.
No.
And when coolant's in there and oil's not in there,
Right.
that ain't getting lubricated.
Exactly.
So I'll definitely have to send that oil in and figure out what they see, because I've never seen oil like this.
Who knows, maybe once we get the pistons out, maybe we'll be able to see, because like this is an open deck block where there's not really anything like supporting those cylinder liners in here.
Yeah.
And I do know that once you start pushing the good big power, these cylinder liners actually start like to move around in here,
Yeah.
and that can cause
That's why a lot of
issues.
people do closed deck on this stuff. Like
really?
built engine, they close that shit.
Oh,
up.
I think you were telling me there's a guy, like he actually machines pieces that fit in there.
Yeah. I honestly don't, I mean, this is the furthest I've ever gone in an engine. I've usually just pulled it out of the car, thrown another one in. The most I've done is replace a valve cover and replace oil pan gasket. I've never taken it this far. So it's actually really cool to see kind of, taking this whole thing apart, how everything works together. So I've got some research to do, but this is my first time seeing this deep into an engine myself and not just in a video or something.
Right.
So let's flip this thing out and get these rods and pistons out of here. So we got everything out, labeled from 6-cylinder all the way through 1. And one thing we noticed right away is that this rod is bent. I don't know if it's easy to see. I mean, you can kind of see that.
I noticed when I had it upside down, it seemed like it was really easy to notice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see, like the rod's like leaned
S-shape.
over.
Yeah. And some of these other ones are not far behind. Each one, to be honest, is kind of tweaked. I mean, look at that one, it's kind of twisted. And Derek noticed this bearing specifically pretty worn. He was saying that copper you see in the middle there means it's been worn down pretty good, and I mean the whole thing honestly looks pretty messy. So there's a couple bearings that looked pretty bad. First cylinder as well was pretty rough, and each rod is kind of tweaked. So I think if I would have kept going, eventually something would have let go and would have made a big mess. So to tackle it this winter, I don't think is a bad idea.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is, once you got a noise going and then, you know, you just try to be the hero, send it one last time, next thing you know, you got rods through the block, and then you got oil on the exhaust, and then the car's on fire, and then you're really in a situation.
True. And a bunch of my friends were telling me, like, just blow it up for content. You know, it'd be great to say it blew up, but too many bad things could happen. Like Derek said, a fire is never fun, and more metal in the oil, that could have damaged the turbo, and I mean, that's like $3 grand. So I think it's best that we caught it while we did and are tackling it now. All right, guys, I'm gonna break this video up with a quick 10-second ad. Instead of a YouTube ad being on here, I'm coming in and I'm reminding you that you can order Beamer Street stuff from beamerstreet.com. That's my own merchandise company to help support this channel. I'm even wearing the N54 engine block t-shirt, which there's no better time to grab this than while we're tearing down an N54 engine. So be sure to check that out.
So yeah, we kind of, you know, inspected some stuff. A lot of times when you bend a rod, the piston, actually the rod actually collapses when you bend it, and it'll start hitting these counterweights. The crank rotates around. But we kind of checked them all out, and there's really nothing, you know, usually you'll see like aluminum, you know, hitting on the counterweights from the piston, but there really isn't anything. Everything looks pretty good inside of here.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that one bearing that's pretty chewed up is probably the one that was making the noise, honestly.
I think it was 1 and 5.
Yeah, 1 and 5.
Both of these were pretty bad. But we were both surprised. I mean, everything generally looks pretty clean. We popped it open, and a lot of stuff still looks new. Even the pistons weren't nearly as bad as we thought. The tops of the pistons weren't that dirty. So I think it was just the power, obviously, that did it. If this thing wasn't having to deal with 750 horsepower, I think it would have lived a nice long life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, everything in this thing looks super clean. Somebody took very well care of it. Scoring on this one, aside from that, looks really good. So see the scoring here. But you see, like if you look on this side of the cylinder, see that nice cross hatching? That's great. What it's supposed to look like. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
So this cylinder looks really nice. So this one's got some rust down on the side of it here. I don't know if you can see that on this very far side. See, there's like spots.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably rust.
I wonder how that happens from it sitting.
It can, yeah. Like a lot, like if you do a lot of like short, like let's say like, you know, when you fired it from, it was sitting here.
Yeah.
You backed it out of the garage, drove it here. That moisture would pool in there. Now if you would have let that thing sit for like,
which I've done.
Right.
Yeah.
That can.
So this one's the only one really with scoring, and this one was pretty bent.
The scoring could legitimately be just from the rod being cocked in the block.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like from the rod being that bent.
Yeah. It just, that was its new spot.
Right. Yeah, because obviously the piston's made to float in there.
Mm-hmm.
If that rod bent, causing that piston to ride up and down on there.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure. Definitely possible. This motor looks really nice.
You're used to seeing like 5.3s that were in some utility van for way too long, sitting in a junkyard for way too long.
Yeah.
This thing's
nice.
Yeah. All right, and there we have it, folks. We've got a couple bent rods, a couple bad bearings, which is actually pretty impressive because the N54 from the factory, it has forged rods and a forged crankshaft. So to bend these rods means you're making some serious torque. A bunch of you guys have asked how much power can an N54 handle. In my opinion, if you're at 600 horsepower, you have nothing to worry about. This thing, I think, will handle 600 wheel horsepower, 600 wheel torque, no problem. It's once you get up to 700, 750 horsepower in torque, that's when you're gonna have some issues. It will last for a little while depending on the history of the motor and the health of the motor. I think you could have it last a year. You could have it last a couple years like I did. Now, once you start pushing 800, 850 or more horsepower, that lifespan is gonna be severely reduced. So I wouldn't expect anything that's being beat on at above 800 horsepower to last very long. But again, that's very, very impressive for a stock motor. BMW truly overbuilt these things. But my plan now is to get a stock motor from the junkyard, something in good condition. I'll refresh the gaskets, do some maintenance on it, and then drop it back in the car to get it on the road, purely because I am on a budget. Remember, I'm self-employed, I quit my job, so anything you guys have helps. Shout out to the 2 people who are subscribed to my Patreon every month. They're donating some money. The link will be down in the description for that if you want to join that club and get some exclusive content. Otherwise, I appreciate all the Beamer Street orders. I got more than I expected. That stuff helps me keep the lights on in the garage, and I'm really excited to see what's next for this channel. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure you subscribe, like, comment, share this video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.